Do I need to do anything over here? I can hear myself in my ears. I see level there. Great job, Dylan.
Pretty fast.
Oop, I hear it repeating.
That's because it's on. Hey, everybody.
Hi, everyone. You know, when we had the old show and we had help, were we always late then too, Dylan?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so, right?
Yeah.
I remember I'm used to seeing in comment sections,
Where are you?
where are you? Are they going to start on time? Da, da, da. But in this case, I got people look at people saying happy holidays.
I know. I feel like
I love this.
that's redemption.
Yeah, Henry Coppola says happy holidays from the Hallmark Christmas movie capital, which is Connecticut or Central Time. I'm assuming he means Connecticut with a CT.
Henry, any relation to Francis?
Francis Ford or Sophia or that whole clan.
Yeah, probably not, right? But
Hello, Greg, over there in Nebraska. Heartbreaking loss in that the women's volleyball championship there to Texas, I believe it was.
wow.
Yes, John Wavy says yes. We were late often.
Yeah, I recall that.
Well, we're happy to see. Listen, okay, I'm going to give you a little background here. I'm headed towards Dylan's house where we do the show. Right, driving in the rain in Los Angeles. I get a call from Dylan. He's even further away than I am, coming back from his a gig of his, and says the freeway shut down. I'm not going to make it in time. Cancel the show.
Yeah.
Just cancel the show. I pull over, and I give like a halftime locker room speech. This side of Al Pacino on any given Sunday. I rally the troops, which is saying a lot because it's just the two of us. And Dylan says, there's not enough time to set everything up, even if we get there in time.
Cancel it.
If you want to just do it from your phone, we can just do it from your phone. I said, we're doing it from my phone. Let's do it from my phone. Let's do this. And then he ends up getting here like 15 minutes early.
I did.
Everything up, and all the drama's just nowhere. Oh, really? What?
Yes, sound but no picture, Marilee. Do you guys have picture? The rest of
Did everybody have?
We have picture. Wait a minute, Marilee, that can't be right. Because we have picture.
Okay, so one last little blast here. Now, we both have gigs tonight, so we probably won't go that long to this afternoon, but we just want to get one last time with you before Christmas. And I know, and I actually have a question.
Okay.
We didn't plan anything for today.
Right.
You clearly.
Oh, wait, we planned everything.
We planned everything today.
That's happening right now.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Now, I have been trying to figure out a guitar arrangement of Christmas Time Is Here. But I have my fingers in knots. We've been talking a lot about chord melody lately. So now I got a glimpse at some piano music, no chord diagram, and I was just kind of looking at. I was like, okay, and I'm trying to do the math because I didn't have a guitar in my hands. Like, okay, when I get home, I'll remember trying to find a key. How does it work? I do this. I am cheating like no one could ever imagine on a guitar. Okay, here's what I have so far.
Yeah,
I've made this song so much harder than it probably has to be.
Okay.
So I'm going to play what I've got so far.
I'm kind of scared.
You should be, because it's a mess. And then you played it very smoothly. So I'm clearly doing something wrong. Here's what I have for Christmas Time Is Here, based on obviously the Vince Guaraldi trio.
Yeah.
I start in the key of E major.
Wow.
With the bridge going
courageous.
With a bridge going to like a G, essentially. I start with I'm going to give a smoother tone. And these Rickenbackers have all sorts of wackiness going on. So, sorry. Right?
That's a D. A D 7 flat 9.
Then
yeah.
Or you could play that around here. Here's the problem. We get to the bridge. So I'm using my thumb on not just the low E string, but I use it on the A string as well, because I can't figure out how to. So I've got this. And then this. And then I don't know what's like a. And then back to my. I keep playing a minor. And then using my thumb again. And then it's just this back to that 13.
Yeah.
So let me see you play this because I'm working way too hard, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
What key do you?
This is the original key.
It's an F, correct? Yeah, but why did I go to E?
Because you get an open string.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I just did the most guitar-y thing
Yeah.
possible. So okay, so
Yeah. Try that with D or E flat.
with E flat. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right, that makes sense. He's so bright, you guys.
And then
Okay. Oh, that looks like
it looks too easy, right? What's the melody note right over there? No.
Do you guys know this? Do you guys know this? Do you guys anybody out there have a chord melody? Yours works. Yours works. And plus, he's playing on a much jazzier guitar than I do. What's going on over here? I think everyone's trying to help Marilee, which is so sweet. I love to see this in the holiday spirit. I have picture. I had to go back to the channel page and click on the link. Michael Storm says, Merry Christmas from sunny Southern California. It's not so sunny here today, although I love the rain. I'm very, very happy with it.
Well, the cool thing about that song is that it goes from F major.
Tons of cool things.
So like to F Lydian dominant. So
Oh, because of the notes of the melody, it puts it in a Lydian mode.
well, because the second chord is E flat 7 flat 9. So if you have
has to fit in one of those.
yeah. So it's like going between those two scales is a great way to practice if you guys are into the modes of melodic minor, which you should be if you're not.
Wait, okay, can we take 5 minutes?
It's a Christmassy thing.
Doctor?
Yeah. Sure.
Modes of melodic minor.
Yeah.
Look, we're just going to, let's have some fun, guys.
Yeah, why not?
Let's just jump in the deep end of this stuff. Let's get really, really guitarded.
Let's get guitarded.
So what what the hell are you talking about?
So melodic minor is this hip sounding scale, right? So it goes principally over major minor seventh chords. So it's a major chord with a minor chord of the major seventh. So you have major seventh with a major third, major seventh with a minor third.
Yeah, that's some good coffee.
It's great, huh?
Wow.
So if you listen to the scale, it's the major scale with a minor third. So if you went...
You mean a minor scale? Oh!
But if you just play a minor third...
You only moved the third. Okay, why didn't you say that in the beginning? Even I can do that.
Yeah.
Aha.
Right. So if you can play a major scale, all you do is you take the third and make it minor, right? A mode is a variation of something. So if we say like modes of transport, it would be like different ways to get somewhere. Or if we say like
I like that. Okay,
yeah,
I'm with you.
Yeah. So modes of a scale mean you're starting the scale from the different notes in the scale. So if you think about the scale as a formula, you just shift it over one note when you start from the next note in the scale. And all the positions shift. So you end up with different modes. So if you play this chord right here. So keep going. 2, ready, go. You can hear how that sounds like it fits right over the top of it. Now if you play this chord. That's the altered dominant scale. That's scale degree 7, or the 7th mode of melodic minor. And
not many people go to the 7th mode and come back.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Does it sound... Okay, if we can give us a thumbs up or down for the sound of this scale. Do you want to play it and I'll play the chords? Or?
No, I'll play the... Wait, what? I don't know what we're doing.
Like a...
What the heck are you playing? Yeah, that, yeah.
Okay, thumbs up or down. Does it sound good? What do you think? Does it make the plants curl over?
It's exotic.
It is.
It's exotic. Although, may I say something? Just to my ear, I hear a lot of tension.
Mm-hmm.
So where's the release? What does this resolve
Right.
to?
So if you go from this to, go to that chord, 2, 3, 4.
Tell me when.
To the back. So does it work or no? It's weird. Okay, Marilee says no. Kind of a jazz sound. Thumbs up ish. I like thumbs up ish because it's the type of thing that makes you want to smoke little French cigarettes.
Gauloise.
Yeah, and put on a beret.
I think that was John Lennon's cigarette of choice was Gauloise.
Yeah,
I
or
believe.
we used to call them beaties. Maybe that was just pot.
Oh no, oh, that sounds familiar.
That was a thing.
I was never. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, little French cigarettes.
Mr. Fogelman, I'm not doing that at work trick because I have a long night ahead, but I'm still supporting you.
What
I
happened?
like that. Well, he says at work, you put your booze in the coffee mug and blow into it like it's too hot to fool the audience.
Oh.
This ain't corn squeezins. This really is coffee. Honest. It really is. This is not like the old Tonight Show. You know what I mean?
Well, do you guys know a lot of songs end up with this chord?
No, I don't.
So it'll be
Start with
starts.
it,
Bells are ringing.
for instance, or what's whenever I started on the wrong chord, but the Beatles, All I've Got to Do starts with that augmented, or even better, bring it up in the morning out to school,
Yeah.
which is at the sound of the school bell.
Chuck
Berry was a
That's the
genius.
same thing as that's the chord scale that belongs with the chord that I'm playing. So right there.
Oh, yeah.
So that.
Almost whole tone.
Yeah.
Almost whole
It's
tone.
whole tone diminished is the name for it.
Now I got to figure the Beatles. Whenever what would it be? It would have to be I can't remember what they start with. Anyway, but yeah, I do love these augmented chords. But usually I hear them starting a song because it has that feeling of anticipation. Yes, it has this. And as we know, we talked about this once on this show.
We did years ago. Yeah.
Where you can move it.
They're symmetrical. They move in major
Symmetrical,
thirds.
That's it. Yes. Yeah, it's pretty hip.
So the tension chords are going to be augmented chords. So if you guys try them, like at the third fret, it'd be 3, 2, 1, and then you move up a major third, which is 2 whole steps away.
Starship with Your Love.
Oh, he's saying that chord's in that song.
Okay, great. And,
Yeah.
Oh, the things that I used to do.
The things I used to do.
Good
Yes.
call. Yes.
Yep.
A really great old blues, urban blues stuff would start
Absolutely,
with that.
yeah.
That's very good. That ain't no country scale. Well, it is, but it's from the country of Greece because in ancient Greece, they did not work in keys,
No.
correct? There was only modes,
Yeah.
right? I don't know when
All of
keys
music was like that up until a certain point. Yeah.
right. Exactly. So,
Because merely instruments were only pitched in one key.
Right.
So if you had a flute, it would be a flute in F.
and that's it. And there you are.
And you could play the F scale and start on the second note in the scale, and you'd have a mode of F, right? And
F Dorian.
the F Dorian, and it would sound like you're playing in a different key, even though you're not. You know?
Yeah, you're hearing.
Yeah.
Sort of.
So another great concept. So that's building tension, even within Christmas songs. Another one, as you're pointing out, is that. So these open string concepts. If we just take open strings in 6. Well, let's try that again.
That was yeah, go flat 7. Now, what magic is happening here? This is a very Giraldi eccentric, which makes me very, very happy.
I know, it
It's
makes me happy
one of my
too.
favorite albums of all time.
So what's happening here is
you only tune down your D string, right?
I only tune down the D string.
D, A, D, G, B, E. Okay.
I'm taking on the left hand of the piano
Mm-hmm.
in the open strings,
Mm-hmm.
and then the right hand is taken by sixths. So that's
Oh, you're playing the interval, the harmonies you're playing. Now I understand.
which is actually what he does in the song too.
Brilliant.
And if you think about it, this same thing, that's the same thing you're moving is you're moving sixths down.
It's great because that Giraldi album, it does feel so. It's as unique in terms of its tone and feel as the Time Out album by Brubeck.
Yeah.
Or there's certain albums that just they have it, but it's a matter of proper note choice and scales, right? It's not as though they have a wacky effect on the whole album that makes it sound the way it does. It's really about the note choices, and it's almost like Giraldi chose to write his melodies and harmonize them in sixths a lot, which gives it that flavor.
Well, okay, so if you guys think about jazz, it started out as dance music. I mean, it would have been the equivalent of four on the floor dance music, and by this point, it had moved into like bebop had already come, and we'd been hanging out in hard bop for a long time, but. One of the things about those songs is there's enough repetition in it. You can get used to anything with enough repetition. You can get used to like all salsa diet.
Great.
If you have enough repetition. So that song, Christmas Time Is Here, for example, the amount of times it goes, ding, dong, 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 is unbelievable.
And I don't mind.
Yeah, and
I don't mind.
finally there's an interlude and those kids stop singing,
Yeah.
and then it's the same thing, though. The band doesn't do anything different, you know?
Well, yeah. Yeah, you're right. I got you.
Yeah, it's just he just plays. So it was like thinking about the listener.
Here's what's great about this.
Yeah.
Girl, so that's it's 1966.
Yeah.
What was significant about the Charlie Brown Christmas special, and if you haven't watched it this year, what's going on? Get to it. Watch it. It's some of the best commercial art ever. Charles Schultz refused to write down to children. He just wasn't interested in that. He doesn't think they can handle this. Also, they used actual children to do the voices of children instead of adults trying to sound like kids.
Yeah, right.
It gives it that's very unusual at that time, right? And that was a make or break deal for Charles Schultz. I was like, we either do it this way, or because he didn't know anything about cartoons. He's a comic strip guy, but he knew that. He knew the feel of the thing had to be right. Giraldi, and again, his compositions, they don't play down to children. It's like, well, it's a lot of jazz, and I don't know if the kids are gonna. It's like, he didn't worry about that. And I think when in this case, it's a lot like, well, I can think of other examples of stuff that was made for entire families but didn't condescend. And that's what's significant about Vince Guaraldi's music on the Charlie Brown Christmas, is that it just does not condescend, but it does rely on repetition. Beautiful melody and repetition. I can harmonize it as jazzy as I want.
Right.
It's gonna work.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna work. And I love how that is of a whole piece with that 24 minutes of cartoon.
This is something that Chet Atkins did really well. So what did I say? I combined
Chet Atkins.
I combined
With Clay Aiken.
Clay Aiken with
Yeah.
Chet. Hey,
They were the same
it
person.
could be a hell of a band.
I tell you what, that's a pretty
get a
entertaining
little Clay
night.
Aiken action in there with Chet
I'd pay
Atkins.
for that ticket. Let's
Sorry,
talk
it's been a
about
long day. Anyways, I have a bunch of Chet Atkins albums because
'Cause he made,
albums force me to
He
listen
made
to
like
it.
4 a year.
Yeah, I mean, this guy was popping albums out like, Catholic in the 18th century. You know what I mean? But I think one of the things he would do is he thought in theme and variations.
Mm-hmm.
So if there was a chorus, he would take that whole chorus with one particular approach on the guitar. And then he wouldn't change approaches generally in mid-section.
Mm-hmm.
So that itself, if you're going to have a lot of variables.
Interesting. So I'm sorry. So
Yeah.
just for example, if he's playing the melody to a song,
Yeah.
like in the bridge, and he decides to play it
Right.
Once he starts
It's all
that,
sixths.
stay there for the
He's
whole
staying
way.
there.
And
Yeah.
then maybe when you get back to the verse, maybe it goes back to like an alternating bass thing. But that's just really smart arrangement,
Yeah,
right? 'Cause
it's
it
like
helps our
modulistic thinking.
Well, I think as a listener, it helps our brain contextualize what's happening in a song. And
Yeah.
so we trust the song.
Absolutely.
It's like Chekhov's gun.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
No.
Okay, so Chekhov's gun is a dramatic reference. Anton Chekhov, the great Russian
Germanic
playwright.
or dramatic?
Dramatic.
Okay, sorry.
He was Russian. He was a Russian dramatist.
It's near Germany.
It's close.
Yeah.
So it's just this kind of this rule of thumb. Like if we see a gun in the first act of a 3-act play,
wow.
that gun must go off or
Sure.
be used somewhere.
I would
You can't
think
just
so.
show a gun
No.
and just like, I don't know. By the way, we do this a lot. No one in movies or on Hallmark shows, no one ever just happens to cough or sneeze.
No.
That person's going down.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
it's just going to happen. So that's kind of a Chekhov's gun sort of thing. So what we're saying in our music, if we're writing music, or if we're arranging a song, if some of you out there, think about it that way. It's like, well, I indicate if I'm going to play, out you don't get around much anymore. But see, he started playing the melody in octaves,
Right.
a la Wes Montgomery, and he had to stick with it because he promised us
Exactly.
this.
And I think that's that whole setup has to be there. Tension, I'm just trying to get the guitar to sound like a guitar. Yes, I hear you. You know what helps me a lot, Michael? Like, cause I think the whole it's so easy to get away from like the creative spirit on guitar. You know, it really
sure.
is, and to just get utilitarian.
Or just go into recital mode.
Well, and
Which is fine, but
what pushes you to do things? It's like motivation, right?
good. I have been really lately. I have Christmas spirit. I've
Yeah.
been just experimenting
Right.
with Christmas songs, like
Right.
again, trying to do them in tenths, in six.
Yeah.
trying to figure out a chord melody with no reference other than and just like, okay, I think this, and just keep.
Well, but you
squeezing
have the
chords out.
narrative of wanting to create a season
I suppose. Oh yeah,
to supplement the season that you're
yeah. I
feeling.
wasn't doing this in September.
Right. And so I think we can become so goal-oriented in guitar playing that we really begin to lose the entire reason why we're doing it. And it's a great idea to just, if you just work on, all right, what sounds good over this chord, go into that chord.
That's
So if it's like, take your time. Minor.
Sorry for the flat 7 there at
But-
one point.
But you sort of lose yourself for a minute.
Oh, it was lovely.
And so if you're not losing yourself playing guitar every now and then, I think you're missing out.
Jonathan,
you're
Lewis,
missing out.
sometimes the technical demand outweighs the creative desire, and that's what Dylan's saying. Like,
Yeah.
don't let's not get too in the weeds on the technical stuff. But I'll tell you, I always say this to my students: sound comes first.
Yeah.
Sound comes first. We'll put a name to it later. There's a name for everything, but that's not why the great composers got into it. It's not why our favorite musicians got into it. They get to make a nice sound, and then in order to explain that sound, or maybe recreate that sound, or explain to someone else how to play along with that sound, then we start to need words and names. But
Yeah.
sound comes first.
Nomenclature.
By the way, the nomenclature. Michael Storms says, "How did Linus play those big songs on that tiny teensy piano?" He says,
was a
"Trick question."
multi-octave chord.
It is a trick question
Yeah.
because I don't know.
Nobody knows.
No, because it was Schroeder, not Linus, who played the piano, and so you had the wrong character. I don't know if that was the trick part, but
Is it
I'm
really?
on it. Yeah, it's Schroeder.
Which
plays
one's the
piano.
smelly kid?
That's Pigpen,
Pigpen, that's right.
and that may be my favorite character because he is himself.
Yeah, what
He
happened to
makes no
just being the smelly kid? You don't have to hate everybody.
He's the one person with no anxiety.
Yeah.
He's the one kid there who's just he's
God,
not
don't
angry
we
at
long to
anyone.
be
He's
that
not afraid
kid.
with a Rickenbacker guitar, there all I can think of is "Christmas All Over" by Tom Petty. That's in. I think it does that kind of a weird dimension. Yeah.
It's like going like this.
No. Yeah, I think that's it. But yeah, the Rickenbacker. And let's talk about. So I'm going to take this to the gig tonight. I actually played this all night on Sunday on a country gig. This into a Reverb Deluxe, right? Now, had a blast. First of all, because could get a real sweet feedback from the amp if I turned the right way. Just a nice thick tone. That was kind of fun. Also, it doesn't have to be a very bright, jangly situation. There's tone controls on the guitar. There's a tone control on the amp. You can add a little warmth. It doesn't have to be that real clangy, typical Rickenbacker thing. The pickups are... Am I not mistaken? I think Rickenbacker, they invented the pickup. I think Rickenbacker they were the ones who had the pickup first. So they should know some things about pickups. So I had a great time, especially with single note stuff. I was able to do low twangy things. Had a great time. Okay, but here's where playing like country, like pedal steel bends, which are not impossible. Oh, already went out of tune. It didn't like that, did it? But part of what makes a Rickenbacker really easy to play is what makes it really tough to play, say, blues, because very low fret wire. Okay, so it's a very fast neck, actually.
It has a really flat radius, too.
And a very flat radius. Now, this does not lend itself... Now we're getting to the gear talk of today's show. So that doesn't help you when you're bending. You actually want a higher fret wire, a more curved radius. That really kind of helps the bending thing. Also, the fretboard is lacquered.
Yeah.
Well lacquered. And that also... I don't know why. I just noticed it, but I don't know why. Why does that help me when I'm trying to play?
Because it doesn't vibrate off a lacquer for starters.
Yeah, it's just a gloss, and it's just not. So these are so right tool for the right job. Now I'm gonna take this down to Long Beach and use it again tonight. Maybe not the whole night.
Yeah.
I have a Telecaster as well, but I'm just gonna push because I like pushing myself out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
You see. I got the trick question right, Michael. Thank you.
Wait, what? I didn't. Oh, yes.
He did the Schroeder Linus switch there, but I like kind of also at some point I realized, well, a lot of these country and blues bands aren't working, so you're gonna have to play without them, which was an adjustment I had to make per song, and I kind of really enjoyed it. It forced me to be careful with my note choices. I had to think differently on. I don't know, some old country song or some old rock song or something. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think I think one of the reasons we all like different guitars is they make us play differently.
Thank you.
You know?
Yes, I think that's also back to what we were talking about last week about why so many guitars and like the wardrobe analogy. You know, sometimes it's like it's kind of nice to have something like when you play that gorgeous thing. Let's say you've been playing like modern gospel a lot on gigs, right? Which is a real strat, typically.
Yeah.
But when you sit down with this, you probably don't. You tend not to play the gospel stuff, right? The modern gospel stuff.
Yeah, because
I'd play chord melody all day on this guitar.
It has so much mid range in
Yeah,
it.
it's like a human voice.
Yeah.
It's almost. It doesn't really require a lot of other accompaniment because of the EQ spectrum where this thing sits.
It also it's got a wound G string on it, and so you're really not going to do a whole ton of bending on there.
Good point.
You know, but it's pretty great. Anyway, so leading back into our topic of kind of stylistic approaches, we had the sixths right on this. You could go up an octave and do the same thing with thirds and fourths. Then be F. And then go to G. Yeah, and so I think kind of messing around with open D is a great way to kind of screw around with songs that you like, because if you can catch one note.
I like that. Just 1, 5, 6, and it kind of let him. What's that? What's that word I'm looking for? With the tie, it's
over the bar.
That's
Windsor not.
It's a Windsor.
It's a Windsor.
It's a Windsor. Legato.
Dr. Dylan's at an ES 175. It's an ES 165. Yeah. George Bachman designed the first ever. Oh, the first ever? Really? 1934.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That's right. You know what? Thank you, Michael. I actually knew that because when I did Jim Jeffries' podcast at the beginning of the year about the history of guitar, and I recognized George Beauchamp's name. Yes, this is correct. This is George Beauchamp was a guy who worked at Rickenbacker, and he signed the first pickup.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Thank you, Michael, for that confirmation. It was in there. I just didn't have it all. I just kind of couldn't, get some dust off the old thinker there.
So, anyways, we wanted to give you guys a solid out of this Christmas. I hope everybody's gonna have a great time.
Today was just a hangout. By the way, if you don't mind, in the next 5 minutes before we sign off and all, can you just throw some topics, issues, things you'd like us to cover in future Wednesdays, and we'll take any idea and we can expand it into anything. And it's just the two of us. See what he did there? Don't ask me.
You know that one. It's
No, I know the song. Oh. I just don't know the changes. That is hip. What is that?
So it's C major 7.
What was that chromatic move that when the chords moved down?
We can make it if we try.
No, start with what's the first chord?
So it's C. I see the crystal raindrops fall from the window down the hall. And then it does your thing right here.
Wait, what was that first? What was that? Yeah.
Same thing.
No, what's that?
B7. And then
you're just
E minor 7. E flat minor 7, D minor 7.
Oh, but you're just playing triads.
Yeah. I mean,
actually, no. That was sorry, that's what confused me.
Yeah.
That was great. They didn't sound like normal minor 7th chords to me for some reason.
Totally changed the
You
sound.
took the 5th out. So imagine you're playing an A minor 7 shaped.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're playing this E minor 7 at the 7th fret, this guy right here. But what Dylan did, instead of playing the D string at the 9th fret, which is B natural, the 5th of our chord, he said, no. I'm just going to play the root, the flat 7, and the minor 3rd.
That's all you get. You just got to make it work.
Because you still were showing a bar, I was like, what
is going on there?
Because I'm late, and I would do...
Yeah. A lot of that, like, constant barring comes from playing classical guitar. Because they really... Like, you'll have to do really ridiculous things to play. It's like an injury sport. Yeah, it's like the type of sport where you're like, I'm out. Yeah, I got to have surgery.
Okay, a deep dive into a particular song. Dissonance, creating tension. In My Life, for example. That's In My Life by the Beatles. Because we're all very familiar with it.
Yeah.
It's very catchy. It's very melodic. But there is I think merely I always talk about that little riff. It has that beautiful 5/1 tension release. This part right here, because we hear the flat 7.
But she wants a traditional deep dive, like the whole.
No, I can serve that up more on 4ths, 5ths, and 6ths.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Harmonies, you can take that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Dissonance and creating tension is, I love that idea, Michael. So much of music is that, yes?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, so much of music is that. And I feel like we talk about it a lot, but yeah, we can definitely do a thing about it. Different chord voicings. These are all great.
Yeah.
I'm keeping these people.
I'd say keep them.
I don't care what you say, Dylan. Yeah.
Well, listen up, folks.
Wow.
Thanks for tuning in today. Guys.
I have I feel like I have a Wednesday or two coming up in the next month or so that I can't do, but I'll let you know ahead of time. So I assume we're here next Wednesday. Can you?
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah, man. Let's do this. Man, I'll tell you, that sounds... It's going to make my bill wither right over there.
So it's good.
Wait, by the way, I'm playing by ear, but I'm playing really safe. I found that melody by just kind of singing with my C major and E minor scale, which are very similar. Notice I just stayed in the exact same frets and strings. I played it safe, but he's doing all the heavy lifting with different chord voicings, chromatic movements, and now I feel like we're now playing Peg by Steely Dan.
That's the turnaround in it.
Is it really?
Yeah, it goes. All right. Anyways, we'll take this one out. So we'll see you guys next time. Have a great Christmas, because we're not going to see you before that.
No, everyone, please be safe. Be kind to yourself. Be even kinder to others. And how to really make a song your own. Yeah, stylization. We can do that for you too. Oh, use me up, baby.
My friends feel as their appointed duty. They keep trying to tell me all you want to do is use me. Oh, but my answer, yeah, to all that use me stuff, I said I want to spread the news that if it feels this good getting used, oh yeah, just keep on using me. Yeah. Until you use me up. See you guys. Have a great Christmas.
I'm getting funky on a Rickenbacker.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I'm just bragging that I'm playing funky on a Rickenbacker. See, you can play anything on anything, pretty much. Which button do I hit? Bye, guys.